I enjoy being with young people because I like to listen to them and take advantage of everything they know. Lately, technology, the way of speaking, the way of being, has changed a lot. We are not like before. I am going to read a book called Learning from the Great Master, which is based on the high scriptures of the Bible. It is very nice and it is for children, but it is very good for us. Raise your hand if you want to start reading. Once, I got bored of sitting next to my sister on the riverbank, and I had taken a look at the book, but it had nothing interesting. What's the use of a book that has nothing? I thought about everything I could expect, but the hot day made me feel drowsy, and the pleasure of knitting with the daisy plant was not worth avoiding pointing out the flowers. Suddenly, running alongside her, a white rabbit with eyes was as interesting as the author of a pretty good writing game. The author of the book Alice in Wonderland is American literature. What have you understood from the reading? What did you imagine with the reading? You can imagine many things. The author is very imaginative and also carries the character. The character is planned at every moment. This gentleman who takes you to see what is going to happen, I'm going to tell you, in suspense. That makes us have something more with the reading of Triste Patasha, whether we are there or not. It still does not have languages. Mayako, do you want to read a fragment? About 5 minutes or so. So that we can imagine with your reading. Read a fragment. Now, everything from the coast to the moment, the crowd just like him. Parents need to make an effort to instill good principles in their children's minds, as encouraged by the Bible. However, as children grow up, parents often have difficulty talking to them about important issues. It is crucial that parents talk to their children about the music they listen to, what group they belong to, and the risks involved. Often, children lack the support and guidance of their parents, which can result in serious problems in the future. Fashion Week and other aspects of life can distract young people from the important principles they need to grow mentally, emotionally, morally, and spiritually. Children need the love and example of their parents to grow up healthy. In addition, they need solid principles and values from their earliest childhood, because if help comes too late, regrettable situations can arise. The best principles are found in the Bible, and it is important that parents instill them in their children from an early age. In summary, parents have the responsibility to guide and teach their children in all areas of life so that they can grow and develop in a healthy way. The sales of Bible instruction are exceptional, as through it children come to realize that what they are being taught are not the words of a human being, but of their Creator, their Heavenly Father. This confers advice of greater importance. This book is very valuable. Let us learn from the great teacher. Be careful with your consumption of wine in the future. We plan to upload to YouTube a list of meetings that those interested, such as Gervais Sudi, Marcelo, and Jose Jorge, were unable to attend. I know that they are also political writers and students of the process. Let's talk about the creatures I know. They are valuable, and it is important to encourage participation in reading and art in Rio Grande. I suggest that it shouldn't just be me talking about everything, but that others can also share their opinions. We could invite Mayako, Carolina, or Catalina, who is a great artist. Catalina seems to be interested in the idea, and I am too. Additionally, the most important aspect of asking questions is to find out what our child thinks. The answers we get I want to let you know that we are also planning assistance. Right now, I am making a list of who is present, Katerina, My World, and others who have connected with us. We could take advantage of the next 20 minutes to read a story. Someone asked me about Alice in Wonderland, which is a very interesting book that made me dream when I was a child. In the book, Alice sees a rabbit with a vest and hands and runs after him. Then she falls down a deep hole and ends up in a magical world. We can read more later, but first, I want to point out that there are many questions in the book's pages that can make children feel more involved in the story. Not be correct, but the information that follows each question is designed to help the child develop thinking patterns. My theory is based on the book's more than 230 illustrations, and there may be questions that encourage the child to express themselves about what they just read. Therefore, examining the book with our child can be an excellent educational tool that serves to reinforce the lessons learned. It is important to read the book together regularly to strengthen the bonds of love and respect between our child and us. Currently, children are constantly exposed to information related to delicate topics such as sexuality, spirituality, and other degrading practices. Therefore, they need protection. This book helps to supply information in a dignified and frank manner, but above all, children need to look to the source of all wisdom, our Heavenly Father, Jehovah God. This is what Jesus, the great teacher, always did. Our sincere desire is that this book contributes to you and your family living in a way that pleases Jehovah and obtain His eternal blessing. In summary, the book's prologue is very interesting and poetic, but we must focus on the importance of reading it with our child to help them develop their thinking and protect them from harmful information. It is also essential that we set an example for our child by living in a way that pleases Jehovah. I want to share with you an anecdote about my experience reading fantasy and science fiction literature. A few years ago, I read a fragment of a book that I really liked. It talked about the conquest of America and used different names to refer to the Spanish and the indigenous people. I found this very interesting and motivated me to keep reading. To avoid negative situations, it will provide a moment of conversation between the children and those who create the book with them. I'm going to stop reading here. How beautiful that little girl is. Sometimes these presentations can be complicated. You no longer like it. Hello, good evening. My name is Jesse Mendoza. I really like reading. Many times I wanted to write, but only once did I have the opportunity to write a book for a contest. I am very grateful to have been accepted into the group. I have been reading more than 300 books, including the Bible. I have been reading since I was 5 years old. My first book that I read, apart from fairy tales, was the Iliad. I recently finished Blanc Blando, which was the head in the sky and the feet on the ground. The welcome was good. The diet with decoration is gone. Capable danger you have to read and now get a fragment we adjust just now. Yellow for the last read. I was missing too. It was missing to read that I am not a classist. The reading time cannot be known now. Tonight the one who was struggling to get into the system as I told you last night. Let success be for bringing it down. I have this book to read. It is a fragment from The Moment We Are the Five Passengers and some more. The book club for now will be on Sundays. They can also do it on Saturdays, but in the end I would like to know what they think about it. We already know that we cannot do it during the week due to work and study issues, and it is difficult to intercalate for a mission a Sunday and then with once we all get together we can go civil when we respect the sanctions of the law that says a maximum of 10 people in physical and face-to-face meetings. Maria told me we can meet at her house. It can be a meeting in the park. Keeping the books up to date. Meanwhile, it can be virtual. We will continue with the 4 who can be here. Some reading and now we have fun. I tell you that this is being recorded because maybe I will upload it to YouTube or Facebook. At another time, while browsing the internet, I came across a link that didn't work. I asked a friend if they were also getting an error, and they confirmed that they were. Later, I joined an online meeting and read a passage from a book that talked about the search for a missing child. The text described the child's search through different places and their encounter with other children. This passage reminded me of my childhood when I used to play with my friends in the sandy streets and run around the neighborhood holding hands. Sometimes, we would also go to nearby villages and sing songs to entertain the people. Those moments were very fun and full of adventures. In the reading, the child protagonist finally finds the body of the missing child and feels very bad seeing them dead. They run desperately through the streets, and the people who see them think they are crazy because of the expression on their face. This scene impressed me a lot and made me reflect on the fragility of life and the importance of valuing every moment we have. In summary, these experiences have taught me to appreciate literature and art even more, as they allow us to gain new perspectives and reflect on our own lives. A priest discovered that the factory verifies if the intention is a priest. In short, the priest was with the indigenous people, and when he was invoking, he saw one in a hole. He made everything optimal for the messenger Mtizhuhui and, scared, he saw it and said some words. The prayers went with the contest in the hiding place, and there he began to pray so that the soul could rest in peace. Then, he ran to the city of Beni, eager to come to the fertile capital city. And then with who, he left, scared the town, clear city between the streets of Benidorm. In the city, they told me what was going on, that he was crazy, and I just said, but death observed the death of the person, Catalina, that yes. Well, we have to keep going to analyze, to find out. Well, there are only 5 minutes left. One wants to read a fragment, can tell a story, a myth, a legend. I can tell a story of a memory type for the kids. There are many kids here. It is the legend of the bird, and our others. It is not called Coquiloco because it is the bird of the 7 colors. The legend tells that many years ago in Mexico, in the jungle in what is now known as between Guanajuato and Nuevo León, there was a girl who was walking in the middle of the forest with her grandmother and mother. This girl believed a lot and believed in the grandmother's stories that told her that if she ever touched a rainbow, she could make a wish to the rainbow. One day, the mother fell ill and the girl was looking for the rainbow until she found a rainbow that was starting in a small lagoon in Baxinca and asked the rainbow to heal her mother, but it was not what the grandmother had told her. The grandmother told her that when she made a wish to the rainbow, it would rise and give her something, like a drink or a plant, so she could give it to her mother to cure her. She was very thoughtful and, seeing that everything the grandmother had told her was not true, she was walking through the jungle until she heard a sound that was far away, and then heard it again. She followed the noise until she suddenly saw a bird on a tree, a bird with a long tail, and this bird had a tail of 7 colors, the same exquisite colors of the rainbow. But suddenly, the bird flew away and she ran after it, throwing stones at it. The bird turned around and came back in front of her, asking what she was doing. She was crying and told him that he had 7 colors just like the rainbow, and the rainbow didn't grant her a wish. Then, the bird told her about Nahuatl text and classified it. Classify and then it means that I can help you, and she tells the bird that her mom is sick. In that situation, the bird takes out a color from each feather and tells her to put half of each color in water and that the water will turn that color. She should give that water to her mom. She rushes home and puts the pretty feathers in the water, which forms 7 colors and starts swirling around. The colors start blending together, forming a dark blue, then a light blue, just like the stars. Her mom drinks the water, and the next day, she is completely healed. That's the legend of the bird from Coquiloco. Well, I think it's time to say goodbye. Thank you, everyone, for participating in this book club. One person couldn't connect, but this meeting was recorded and will be uploaded to YouTube, but not publicly, only as a list. So when you want to see it, I'll send it to you. What did you think of the meeting? On Sundays, we'll have more time when we have more people. Thanks for participating in the meeting.